So I totally did a thing right now, and it was like really funny because I said I was not going to get another Hyundai, and I got one. I have officially gotten rid of that horrible Hyundai Elantra that I had into something that is a little bit nicer and a little bit more appropriate. As the Elantra, they had to keep tearing it down, so it's like literally repeatedly doing hip surgeries. Like eventually just the hip is going to break and you're just going to be done with it. So ultimately, I did actually upgrade to the Tucson. They gave me a crazy good deal on it, so I couldn't really resist it. So I kind of just I fell in love with it after they rented it to me for the first time. So now that I have one, it's just the difference between this and the Elantra is night and day. Like this one, I actually want to be in, versus my future husband's Subaru over there that is just sitting there because I've been driving this thing around all day. So we're going to talk about a few things in the Tucson that ultimately are new. This is the SEL trim, so there's going to be a few things that are new for this particular facelift generation that you may not be getting in like the SEL Elantra, for example. So we'll talk about those features, and we'll talk sort of about the interior and the back seat and stuff like that. Guys, I am 5'10", and look how much legroom I have. This is freaking nuts. Like, it is amazing to see that Hyundai actually cares about their backseat passengers in this particular vehicle. You can ride so comfortably in here. Granted, it does suffer a little bit in the trunk space, but these seats fold down, and like I could fit a lot more in here when I actually decide to move again. In the back seat, I also do have rear air vents and a power outlet, so that's kind of interesting. I wasn't necessarily... Is it a power outlet? No, it's a USB port. Either way, like, this is so freaking cool because, for one, like, this is an SEL trim. This isn't even top of the line, and Hyundai gives you a lot for this thing. It's, like, crazy. So, the door panel over here, excuse this green bag. They like to, every time you buy a car there, they like to give you a water bottle. So, there is a speaker built in, but it looks actually pretty well put together. You do have your little cup holder there, and you have that padded region for your elbow. The headliner is a little bit small. That's my only complaint, along with the little laptop-looking thing up there that I do have about this vehicle, is that although it is well put together, I definitely think that this could be a little bit higher to keep your passengers from hitting their heads on the way in. But it's not really too much of a coupe styling, and it's not too in your face. So if you are a little bit taller, you may want to consider sitting in the front seat, but it's not necessarily going to be a problem in this thing. So I do like the fact that they have the air vents and they put the cup holders back in here because that's where they belong, honestly, and it's just better in my opinion. I am a little disappointed because I did get the tan seats. I was hoping to get something a little bit darker, but I'm not really going to complain too much because this is ultimately the car that I test drove and I basically fell in love with. So going on to the outside of the vehicle, we're going to explore a little bit, okay? You're going to have to excuse me though because my trunk is a mess. I had to clean everything out pretty quickly. So getting on the outside, this car is sort of like a blue with a graphite sort of accent to it. Really nice. The wheels are beautiful, and just overall it's just so clean in here, and I'm kind of glad that Hyundai decided to continue doing this car because this generation's amazing. This is my trunk space. As you can see, I have literally had to pull everything out of the Elantra last minute, and my toolbox, one of them actually opened, so I got to clean this out tomorrow. But the trunk space isn't bad. I have this little cover here, and on top of that, these seats fold down 60-40, so there's not going to be an issue in terms of room in here. So I'm gonna go sit in the passenger seat of my car because I'm gonna explore. Okay, here we go. Let's do this over here. I'm gonna get you guys back in the vehicle over here because then you can actually see something. So getting into my passenger seat, wow, this is crazy. So it actually feels really good to sit in this seat. So this is like a leather cover over here, and the actual inside of it is really nice. Like I'm able to fit my little chargers in here. Unfortunately, with this being uncovered now, I will have to start putting more things in here, but luckily there's a lot of room for it, so can't complain too much there. The cup holders are pretty decent size. I'm actually okay with this parking brake. I'm not thrilled that it's automatic, but I can't really complain too much because, hey, like, it's not bad. I also do have auto hold, so that is also helpful, and I can do the drive mode between sport and regular, but this transmission is really good about shifting up, so I think eco mode is eliminated. This is the 2.4 liter, not turbo, I'm sorry, 2.4 liter engine. It is mated to the 6-speed automatic, so I don't have the 7-speed dual clutch that's been problematic in these vehicles. I think they actually discontinued it, but I also wanted the bigger engine. Actually, what's funny is this actually brought my insurance down despite the engine being bigger, for a multitude of reasons. One thing that you do have is you have the lane keep assist, you have blind spot monitoring, you have all of those features included with this. You also have an auto up and down now, compared to the previous Elantra that I had was only an auto down for the driver door. Granted, I'm still kind of upset that it wasn't for both doors, but I can't really complain too much. What was it called? This is equipped with dual zone climate control, which was new for the SEL model, I think in 2019. It actually is a lot better than that of the SE that I was driving as a rental. The SE definitely, those four fan speeds, after having multiple, I'm trying to think of the word. Multiple fan speeds, I think it's actually a lot better. You do have your two 12 volts there, and you have your Apple CarPlay and aux pull, or you have a USB for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And like I said, it all goes up into this screen here, which we know already that I'm not a fan of, because I'm not too crazy about this. Like, I don't like it when it sticks up. It makes it look like it's an add-on versus actually being built into the system. I see where they were trying to go with it, but it's not necessarily my favorite feature. Legroom in this thing, though, guys, it is amazing. Like, I can literally stretch out here. It's like a JetBlue airline versus American Airlines and Allegiant. Like, I can actually be comfortable in here, and it's not necessarily overbearing. The glove box is dampered, so when it comes down actually nicely. It doesn't slam your knees. The only thing I thought that, for some apparent reason, I thought I saw it differently before, was that I thought these air vents actually surrounded this, so I thought it was a little bit interesting that when I got in, I was like, whoops, I was wrong. So, not too bad. I think it is a 4-speaker system, but guys, I'm not going to be too picky. It is a push-button start, so losing the key fob is not an option. Unlike my future husband who lost his key in Texas and somehow found it 3 months later, I am not going to do that because these are much more expensive to replace. So guys, this is my 2020 Hyundai Tucson. I love this car. I mean, it is just freaking amazing. Like, it's one of those things where I didn't think I was going to get something like this for as good as I did. So I'm actually pretty proud. I do also like the fact that they put the little light up here again. That's actually nice because they didn't do that in the other one when I had the Elantra. Oh, I'm excited. Okay, so that concludes my initial impression. I'll do a drive video later because I really need to clean out this car before I start doing anything. But should you have any questions or concerns, by all means, guys, leave them in the comments. I am so excited to have this thing, and I don't even know why, because it's a Hyundai. Like, I really shouldn't be that excited. But holy crap, like this car, like, I mean, granted, you gotta understand something. I went from a 2000 Honda Accord. Granted, there's some 99 videos that are actually the same car. It's just where the car was built, they listed it as a 2000, even though it's really a 99. I had a 15 Elantra, I had an 18 Elantra, and now I've got this SUV that's just freaking phenomenal. So with that, folks, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go so I can go to bed. But, yeah, I can, like, sleep in here right now. I'm just so excited to have it. So, yeah, steering wheel is pretty much the exact same as my Elantra. So that's something that didn't change, but I'm okay with that. All right, you guys, let's go on some adventures with this on the channel. Let's do it.